the NBA. You got to be grateful for that. And then we get 2 great opportunities, game 1 here and the next game at our place. And so just being in those environments is kind of the things you grow up wanting to do. So taking that in is cool.
Obviously, I'm sure you watched Porzingis while he was playing for the Knicks. How much of a different player is he now than when he started here?
I honestly don't remember him. I didn't watch that much back then. But, all I can say is ever since I played against him, he's always been a challenge to play against. And since he stepped foot here, he's gotten better every single day. And really enjoyed coaching him. And, I'm anxious to see how he grows as a player, how he makes our team better.
Your team's ability to put 2 defensively sound centers who can also space the floor on the floor. What type of advantage does that give you against teams that maybe don't have either a 3-point shooting center or something that can guard multiple positions?
It just allows us to play spaced, disciplined basketball because our 5s are skilled. They can pass, they can shoot, they can dribble. And so it just gives us an advantage because we're able to play off of them. And so it's very important that we stay disciplined in our spacing, disciplined in our matchup recognition, disciplined in our physicality to execute.
How much personally, Joe, have you changed, would you say, or learned or whatever, since opening day last year and the position you were in then to opening day this year?
I would like to say I smile and give more one-word answers.
Give more?
I might agree with that. I don't know, not around enough. But, do you feel in any way more prepared this year? Like, just how do you kind of put it in context?
You're always, you feel more prepared, but I think at the end of the day, the difference between last year and this year is this year we have an identity as a locker room. We have a shared, vision. We have values and principles that we can pull from and fall back on and talk about consistently. And so going to a situation like last year, if you come into the media and you say, hey, this is what we're about here, it's kind of inauthentic because we didn't really talk about that and we didn't really agree upon that as a staff, as a player, because we didn't really have time to. And so I think you're able to give different answers, you're able to elaborate more because, we're building, this is what we do here, this is what we're about, this is how we think, this is how we talk, act. And because of those principles and those shared, values and the things that we want to accomplish as a team, it's easier to talk about things.
And what do you want your identity to be?
Humility, mindset, toughness, passion, togetherness. Just be nasty. So we'll see if that happens.
Al told us this morning that he is going to come off the bench. Can you tell us a little bit about those conversations and what that does for you guys?
Yeah, again, Al's a cultural warrior for us. And so for a guy of his stature, what he's done in this league, what he's done for our team, to be willing to do that for our team is very important. I'm grateful for that and for him. At the same time, it's not just about him, and I think that's the idea of this whole offseason. This preseason starting thing is Al's making the initial sacrifice, but everyone's going to have to. And so it's important that our team as a whole has the empathy for each other to understand that each guy is going to have to give up something little for us to be a better team, and it's going to look different for each guy, and it's going to come at different times throughout the season. And so right now, Al stepped up to the plate and started that for us, but each guy's going to have to do what Al's doing right now, night in and night out, and at different times. And as long as we keep that togetherness, that sacrifice, that open-mindedness, and we'll be able to maximize our ability to be a successful team.
Did he volunteer that?
No, we all talked about it. We came together as a team. But at the end of the day, for a guy like Al who's been in this league, you don't make decisions without him because of who he is and what he stands for. And so I'm not saying he lined up shaking, raising his hand, excited about it, but he's out. So we're grateful for that.
Would you like
Last year you hadn't talked about an identity. What were the conversations that went into that identity this year? How did you decide on this is what we want to do?
Just conversations with different players, conversations with the staff, conversations with front office, what do we want to be, what do we want to represent, what do we want the work environment to be like every day and come in, what do we want, how can we have each guy express who they are as an individual when they're in this building, and then how can we express what we're trying to be as a team, right? And so I think those things will naturally, we have a framework for that, a foundation for it now, and we'll see if we can kind of mold into that as the season goes on and as challenges come.
With players like Drew and Porzingis, in terms of incorporating them into what it is that you want to do, it seems like it should be an easy fit because both of those guys, they play good roles on defense, but can you speak to what the process is of actually folding new guys into what it is that you want to do?
To me, it's more about doing what's best for the roster and how you maximize the roster that you have on both ends of the floor. And we spent a lot of preseason trying to maximize all of our guys 1 through 15, and so we'll see how that goes. I don't expect it to go like well all the time. I think there'll be some growing pains, us figuring each other out. But if we can maintain our physicality, our toughness, and our communication, I think we can work through all that stuff.
What do you like about the smaller lineup for this game specifically? You've talked a lot about going matchup, starting lineup by committee almost, depending on the matchup. What do you like about that smaller lineup tonight?
Just our speed, our ability to space the floor with four ball handlers, being able to attack closeouts, and just our defensive versatility.
And how does that impact Chris Stapps being the single big out there?
I don't think it should. I think Robinson's starting, so that'll be his initial matchup. And as the game goes on, we'll kind of see what their sub pattern is. They've shown more double big in the second unit this preseason than they have, so we'll adjust to that if necessary, and then we'll kind of figure out our late game matchups there. But the thing about him is he's got an ability to play and drop and to switch, and I have confidence that he'll be able to do both.
Joe, how do you address the end goal as the season starts today?
What do you mean?
Championship aspirations, where you want to be at the end for the first game of the season.
I mean, it's obvious that there's about 10 teams that have a chance to, and so we're one of them, so we're fortunate for that. At the same time, it's a long way to go, and there's a lot that can happen between now and then. And, right, the only guarantee is like the mindset that we bring, to whether it's shoot around, practice, game. It's all about how we approach it. And so we might not even be guaranteed to be in that position to do it, but we're guaranteed to just bring it every day and see where it takes us.
How do you approach?
You got 4 questions today, man.
How do you approach a player with Julius' skill set? I mean, the way his size, his strength, what he's able to do. What do you do with him defensively?
Yeah, I mean, there's a group of guys in this league that, the words stop or shut down don't really mean anything. It's more about what are you willing to live with, what can you take away, and what can you not take away. And so I think with guys like him and really the top players in this league, you come into a game plan of like, this is what we're going to take away. And then the game gives you kind of a decision to make as to far as what you're going to do. You have to continue taking that away, or do you have to adjust and take something else away? So, we'll come in with an initial game plan, and then we'll be open-minded to our adjustments as the game goes on. And at the end of the day, it's more than him. Brunson's really good, Randall's really good, Grimes has gotten a lot better, Quickly's really talented, so they have a really good team. And it's just a matter of what we can take away and what we're willing to live with.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.